Hey everyone, Arbiter Wolf here with another weekly video. So for this week I felt it was a fairly good week again. Got a good amount of drawing time in and got a good amount done for draw boxes, box challenge. I think with this next week I'll definitely be finished with that and I'll finally be moving through his lesson 2. I've also been going through the point character drawing book by Taco and using a traceover followed by just drawing from the reference and then trying to recall that for another drawing, and that's been working pretty well. So I'm basically doing the drawing 3 times because I'll do the trace over and then draw it from reference and then try doing it from recall. But I did notice that during the week when I was trying to go and draw from a reference, I was struggling a bit trying to construct the figure, so I think that's just something that I need to work on a lot more. Is just doing a lot of constructions of figures using boxes and cylinders and stuff like that. And right now I am in kind of a experimenting limbo phase since I am done with the 100 head drawings and I'm just trying out different things. I'm trying to keep my structure with just a draw box and experimenting with other things such as that trace, reference, and recall that I was talking about. But towards the end of the month here of April, I am going to be structuring out a roadmap of how I want to practice and what I'm trying to practice towards. And what this is going to be is just a roadmap of what I want to do with my art and the steps that I'm taking to try to get to that end result. The big thing with this is that I don't want it to be a I need to take these steps before I can do the thing that I want to do. It's going to be more towards I'm going to be doing these steps to try to improve the thing that I'm trying to do. So I'm going to be focusing pretty heavily on doing the thing that I actually want to do with art, and then the roadmap is to kind of keep me on track of how I'm going to keep improving at it. Talking a little bit more about the week, for this drawing here that you see, it was just kind of a sketch that was just experimenting with, just trying to do a drawing from reference and try to make it into kind of a anime style. I feel the proportions are off for at least the body, and the reason for this is that I'm kind of still trying to figure out how many heads that I'm going to be using for a proportion size, because it can be anywhere from 8 heads or 6 or 7 for more of a anime or manga style. And since I'm trying to go for that type of style, I'm kind of trying to figure it out with using a real life reference. The other thing too is I'm trying not to get super detail heavy with these types of sketches, so I'm trying to keep it under an hour with this type of drawing reference. I think this one was going on a little bit too long. I think it was getting to like 55 minutes, and I wanted to kind of finish it up. But overall, I felt it turned out okay-ish. The second sketch I did here, I decided to take from a manga reference. I was just interested in trying to get the base of the character of just her sitting on the wall and seeing how I could try to place her in the scene and how that would kind of work. So it was just kind of a playing around and trying to see how that would work. I don't think I completely matched it to the reference itself. If you look at it, I think the proportions are off a bit, and along with the fact that if you look at mine, she is sitting a lot taller, while if you look at the one in the reference, she is slumped over a little bit more. Which really, I think, comes down to I just need to be focusing on trying to do a little bit more construction and some more figure drawing. I started to do a little bit more figure drawing this week too, and trying to focus a little bit more on construction. I think focusing on those two areas will definitely help a lot more. because when I was trying to do construction and figure drawing, I was struggling a bit, and I feel that if I just keep continuing on practicing that, I'll be able to see some better results with some of these sketches that you see here. But for these sketches, I'm not really trying to be super detail oriented with them. I'm really just playing around with things and trying to experiment and seeing how things go and trying to dissect some stuff and see if I can improve on some stuff. But overall, like I said, I felt it was a pretty decent week for just getting drawing time in, and I'm going to be working at trying to put together more of a roadmap of what I want to be doing so that I could be focusing pretty heavily on just doing that and then improving on that. So pretty much the outlook for the next 2 weeks is kind of a lot of the same of just doing drawbox for kind of my structure and then testing out some different drills for trying to improve and just seeing where I need to improve and how I think I could go about improving on that. And by doing that, I hope to work that into a big plan for me to incorporate so that it can help me improve a lot more at drawing, specifically of what I want to be drawing. But that pretty much wraps it up for this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks.